Yo, what up? It's Fug, and I'm back with some Pokemon content, which y'all have been waiting for patiently. It's the end of the league. It's the end of the pool phase, I should say, and I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today. So, what is a better moment, I pray, to record a little bit of a post a commentary. So here we are, people. I think I had my most sort of interesting match all the way at the end versus ya boy Kun rocking the Ho-Oh and the Eternatus. So let me just give you guys, I want to talk a little bit to my thought process in the preparation. That's going to be short, and then also in the game itself, because there's a lot of interesting things to learn, and it's a cool display of a more niche Pokemon, the Gothorita. First things first, when I prepare, I use this team headquarters sheet. This has my team in it, and I also put all the other teams in it. You've seen this sheet before, and it has this nice team preview. First thing I do, since the core of my team is very, it's very apparent, it's the Xerneas. I see what does it really take against him to get my Xerneas going. And I couldn't really think of a way to really get it going properly. I mean, look at it. He's got the Eternatus, which has the poison. You got the Tinkaton, which got the steel. You got the Ho-Oh, which is fire. It resists the fairy. So I was doing some calcs, as I do. I like to do the calculations, and I got to make sure that all of the mathematicals, they're all correct at all times. So I have the Xerneas. But even at +2... it's not even doing much to the Ho-Oh, even after Geomancy. So I was thinking, gosh, he just completely walls me out. What do I do? First thought was, okay, what if I build a team which uses Fairy Z, and then I have to go even further beyond, not just the +2, but get the +3 off the Geomancy, get some defense and everything, and then use Gothorita with Psych Up to copy the boost. I thought, wow, I have to get really greedy in order to beat this guy, and I ended up building a very jank team. Often what I do is I build one team, then I let a day pass, and I built the team from scratch again, because then I look back at this team, I think, oh my god, this is so janky. Incineroar with a Pasho berry, it's a water resist berry. The Electivire would need to do most of the heavy lifting against the Ho, but it doesn't even one-shot it. Suicune with Scald doesn't even do half either of the Ho-Oh. If it runs Recover, I'm in big trouble. So something else, I was looking at these Pokemon, right? I was looking at like, okay, what can I do to make this work? I know Kun really likes to run Focus Sash, and there's one very, very important thing. The Ho-Oh is by far the largest threat to my team, is what I determined. Look at this. Ho-Oh is 4 times weak to Rock. What does that mean for us? That means that if we get up Stealth Rock before he gets his Ho-Oh in, I am chilling. There an idea was born, right? I had the idea, okay, I want to start off with Stealth Rock and punish him if he doesn't lead his Ho-Oh. And if he does lead his Ho-Oh, I want to be ready for it too. So I started crafting a lead, and that's usually where I begin. So what is nice? What isn't nice? Well, I begin with like the win condition of Xerneas, and I thought, okay, I can't really find it. I can try to just build support around it, and don't be too reliant on it, but still maybe be able to get something. And I think one of the best ways to get something is if I am actually able to maybe Moonblast that the Ho-Oh to death at some point, after it has been hit by some Stealth Rocks. We'll see. Also, the Sock is relying on the sturdy ability too, so lots of value out of Stealth Rocks. So I started crafting. Okay, I have 2 Stealth Rockers, Duraludon, Great Dust. Great Dust not a great lead, because it has too many weaknesses. Duraludon, great lead. Duraludon is gonna be my first Pokemon in the lead for sure. It has Stealth Rock. That was the first move I chose. Then I thought, okay, if I lead Duraludon, he doesn't lead Ho-Oh. He's probably just gonna switch it in immediately before I get the Stealth Rocks down. So what do I lead next to it? Gothorita. Now the line is starting to become interesting, because I can Duraludon and lead Duraludon and Gothorita, and if he doesn't lead with his Ho-Oh, he's immediately in trouble. What if he does lead Ho-Oh though? Ho doesn't actually deal that much damage to Duraludon. Except for maybe with like Earthquake, for example. Earthquake does some damage, but it's not stab boosted. So I have Reflect on Duraludon. If he does lead Ho, I'm not setting up the Stealth Rock turn 1, I'm setting up Reflect turn 1. Then I will Stealth Rock after. Maybe Draco Meteor or something. I'll have a lot of time if I Reflect. Gothorita also winning time with Fake Out and then has a Light Screen next to it as well. I basically built these two Pokemon first, used the Eviolite, so I gave Gothorita Focus Sash. Thought that would make sense. Then of course Xerneas has to come along as well. And now I thought, okay, I'm just gonna do a standard Xerneas set. But Terra type Ghost. Why Terra Ghost? Usually I go Terra Fairy, but there's so many issues. There's two Fake Outers, Mew and Tinkaton, and the fact that Eternatus's poison does super effective damage. Tinkaton also does super effective damage, right? So Terra Ghost, I thought it would be good because it's not expected, and it will win me turns if the opponent fakes me out. Have the Power Herb, which allows my Geomancy to go in one turn. Pretty standard stuff. And for the V spread, I just went max special attack because I know that I needed it. I was doing calculations here with the Nerd of Now calculator, very much recommended because it automatically sets the level to 50, which is very, very nice. It's built for VGC. And that, okay, so the Xerneas was done. But, you know, I saw in the calculations that, for example, even this guy, the Mew, if it's full specially defensive, doesn't die necessarily to a Moonblast or to a Dazzling Gleam for that matter. So I was thinking, okay, I need some extra, a little bit of extra oomph. Maybe add Helping Hand. That's where the Electivire came in. I gave him Helping Hand. Follow Me. I thought, okay, let's form a nice support for that Xerneas. Follow Me, Wild Charge in order to hit that hole, which Xerneas has trouble hitting. And I gave it Electrium Z so that if the whole Stealth Rock plan somehow fails, if he taunts Duraludon turn 1, then I can still one-shot it with Wild Charge Electrium Z. That was kind of my idea. It's my backup plan. It's in desperation. I like having a bit of redundancy just in case, you know, that if we do come into a desperate situation, that there's still a way out of that situation. So that's 4 slots filled. Then I decided on Incineroar, and I think maybe in retrospect it would have been good to also give this guy Helping Hand because, you know, the Xerneas Helping Hand thing, Electivire Helping Hand. But at the same time I was also thinking, hey, I have 4 Pokemon already locked in, of which 1 does damage. I mean, they all do some damage, but none of them does a lot of damage. So I decided that this guy will need to do damage. Problem with that is I don't have good speed control for it, right? The only thing that enables it to really move is surviving a hit, which is why I ended up with the Assault Vest idea. Gothorita, Fake Out, and Electivire Follow Me. Now Incineroar is pretty good at surviving hits because of the Intimidate ability and combined with the Assault Vest, right? So in calcs I saw it would survive most things and then be able to get off a Flare Blitz or a knockoff. So we went for that. Fake Out, we have the U-turn. I love any type of pivoting move. I have the U-turn on Incineroar. I have the Volt Switch on the Electivire, even though it's a physical attacker. I think it's so good, and that's why I don't have any speed investment on this thing, nor on this thing. Preferably, I want those moves to go last. Usually, these Pokemon aren't really being focused. You can use the the U-turns or the Volt Switch to kind of get in a Pokemon for free, a more squishy Pokemon like Xerneas or Great Tusk in this case. Still, the problem with the damage, and I thought Great Tusk actually covers his team pretty decently. The ground type, especially against Eternatus, and the fighting type against Regigigas and Umbreon, right? Those pretty good, and I didn't really have big answers for those yet. Went for the standard moveset, Close Combat, Headlong Rush, and I thought maybe he'll give me a turn to set up at some point. Give me a Rapid Spin, because then I can outspeed everything, and I gave him just the right amount of speed so that after one Rapid Spin it outspeeds everything. And I didn't have Tailwind, so this was the logic behind that. Booster Energy will still go for attack, because I needed that to get the one hit KO knockouts. There we go. Now we were left with a team that I thought was more well-rounded, equipped to deal with some bad situations. Still, I think an unfavorable matchup because of how poorly my Xerneas lines up. So I didn't have too much hope going into the match, but you know, you gotta try, you gotta give it your all. So here we go. I gave it my all, and I stuck to the plan. First of all, first things first, I'm happy because I see he has Sock. Sock's gonna not like it if I get that Stealth Rock up. However, I'm also kind of scared at the same time. Because what I didn't think of is what if he leads Sock and just immediately close combats my Chalidon. Turns out, with the Chalidon, it's a Chalidon. With the Duraludon, if it does like close combat, we are kind of screwed. One hope is I can fake it out and then use our Duraludon to maybe get a Reflect up, and then I can do something. So I decided to lead with it anyway. It's my plan, after all. So here we go. Turn 1, Duraludon Gothorita comes out, and from him, Eternatus and Duo Penalty comes out. What are the first things I think about when I'm in a battle? I think, okay, why does he lead this? Does it tell me anything about his items? It's very common to lead with a Focus Sash Mon because in case they do get rocks up or some kind of hazards, you want the Focus Sash to be up. And I'm thinking, okay, so, he has Keldeo Resolute and Eternatus. Keldeo Resolute can do probably a nice amount of damage to Duraludon if he wants to with a fighting type move. I do the calcs. He can't one-shot this. He can't one-shot this either. Even with choice specs on either of them, right? So I stick to the plan. Ho-Oh and Soccer in the back. This would be huge if I get Stealth Rock up. It's so big, and he can't one-shot either of them. But if he does attack into it with both, Duraludon's dead. For that reason, I decide I have to click on Fake Out. Very simple. Problem is, what if one of them has a Cobra Cloak? That's something that you do need to keep in mind. I think, well, out of the two of them, Duo Penalty is more likely to hold Sash. Duo Penalty is also more likely to maybe be able to kill Duraludon. After all, I decide to Fake Out in Keldeo. Eternatus can also, you know, still get one shot by a Draco Meteor. There's also still the option for me to switch this turn. He can't switch, right? We know that. We know that he can't switch because I have the Gothorita on the field, and that's what's so interesting because he would probably love to switch. He would probably love to get like the Ho-Oh in or something, or start setting up. He could start setting up his Eternatus right now, but that is why we have the Dragon Tail on the Duraludon, because I thought of this exact situation. What if he just starts setting up the Eternatus because they don't have much pressure on it? So we have the Dragon Tail. We go to the next turn. Fake Out goes into Duo Penalty. Brojo uses Dynamax Cannon, almost actually kills my Duraludon. And Stealth Rock goes down. That's turn 2. Wait. Oh. 1, 2, that's turn 1. Sorry. So Dynamax Cannon, Flinch, Stealth Rock. Boom. That's the end of turn 1. Duraludon's almost dead. But, really important, try to figure out what items your opponent is holding. This damage does not line up with what I was calculating. There can only be really one reason for that, because I was calculating with maximum special attack. Choice specs. So this guy has to have choice specs. Only way he does this much damage. That's why a calculator is so powerful. I thought, okay, he has choice specs. He just locked himself into Dynamax Cannon. Dynamax Cannon is a dragon move. Very simple. What does that mean? Well, right now, I mean, I know Xerneas is immune to dragon. So is Keldeo. So I'm thinking, okay, I can hard switch my Xerneas right now. I could do that next to Gothorita. But I could also, I don't think he's going to double target Gothorita. I'm making that read. Because I think he wants to kill my Duraludon, so I don't just get a free kill with Draco Meteor on this thing. So I don't think I have to protect this turn with Gothorita. I think my Duraludon is probably going down, so I can get my Xerneas in, and then I can protect next turn with Gothorita. So he can't switch in on my Geomancy turn, which is really important. Why? Lots of people want to get that juicy Mirror Herb value. I know he doesn't have Mirror Herb on Brocha, on this Eternatus. Probably doesn't have it on Keldeo Resolute. That's didn't really think that through, but I just don't expect him to have it on that. Um, but honestly, it was possible. It was possible. That being said, I don't think he would lead with that necessarily. So we'll see, because he doesn't want to stay, and he's weak to fairy, right? He can Terra, of course. So that being said, I think, okay, I can leave the Gothorita in right now, and I won't have to protect. Duraludon, so just to remind you, these are the moves that Duraludon has. I lock in Draco Meteor on Eternatus because I know that it will most likely kill because it's offensively built. And I lock in Light Screen on Gothorita so that I have more protection when the Xerneas does eventually come in, or if it doesn't, for the Pokemon that come after, for the other Pokemon that come after. So yeah, it's Draco Meteor Light Screen. Then I know, hey, if this goes down, I got the Light Screen up, pretty much guaranteed. And if this goes down, then I probably have this guy dead. So that's quite nice. So a big threat to Xerneas down. I have the Sash here. He goes to Dynamax here. On here, Secret Sword kills this, like expected. Don't get the Draco Meteor up, but I get the Reflect up. And this is where Xerneas comes in for free. I've sacrificed my Archaladon at this point, Duraludon, and Gothorita's at 1% HP. Seems problematic, but my game state, in my opinion, is pretty good. I have a Light Screen, which means he doesn't actually do that much damage on Xerneas. He can't damage it at all with Broach because it's locked into a Dragon move. I can protect on Gothorita now. Duo Penalty won't do much damage to Xerneas either with a Water or a Fighting move, right? Especially through Light Screen. It doesn't have, it's a physical attacker. Sorry, special. That's why Light Screen is so good. So yeah, it's very simple here. I just press Geomancy and protect. He goes for the Terra, the Steel. That's something I didn't really think about. It's a bit annoying. Okay, yeah, he goes Muddy Water, which he didn't do that last turn, but because of that, my Duraludon did die. Duraludon probably wouldn't have died if he used Muddy Water. But that's what my Gothorita did live because of that, so thank you for that. Gives me this really good situation. Geomancy. He still can't switch out because I have this Gothorita on the field, and I'm really trying to maximize the turns that I have it. So that's why the Protect comes out now. I know next turn it's probably dead, but next turn they're still forced on the field. Keep to stay there. So Geomancy comes in. Not the next turn. I think the only thing my Gothorita can do here before it goes down is protect, because this guy is gonna at least click Muddy Water to make sure that the Gothorita is dead. I'm faster than anything here, but I can never one-shot this guy because it's Steel now. It resists me. So I decide, okay, I'll just try to kill the Eternatus. I'll just throw Moonblast into it. Eternatus can't really do anything about it. So I just know that it's basically dead, right? It's an offensive Mon, so that's quite nice. I know that is no longer a factor, at least. Also not super scared of the Keldeo, because even though it resists my Xerneas, it doesn't seem to have any useful moves, because it's been using Muddy Water. If it had something more useful, it would be using it, something that does more damage. Now in comes the Sinistcha to heal up this Keldeo Resolute. Electivire comes out now, because this is where the second part, the helping hand thing, really comes in handy. I decide to go for Electivire. I didn't know yet that he would go for Sinistcha, of course. But I was thinking, hey, out of all these Mons, I think against all of them, having either Redirection or Helping Hand is incredibly powerful. I have the Terra Ghost to help against Mew. I have the Redirection to help against Sock Ho-Oh. And I have the Helping Hand to kill the Sinistcha, which I need to kill it. So Electivire is in the end the most logical choice. Then, okay, so what do I do now? I think, hey, with the Helping Hand and the Spread move, I can kill this Duo Penalty. He does heal this guy to 100%. Helping Hand comes out, Dazzling Gleam comes out. But here, he makes a really good move. He goes for Endeavor, because he knows the calcs. He got himself back up to 100%. And he knew that Duo Penalty was going to survive, because he got that. Probably guaranteed that because he got the Sinistcha in. So that gets my Xerneas down to 11%. That's not nice. Now I'm kind of sweating a little bit, but I know that it's still going to outspeed everything. And there's no priority move that will kill me through this Light Screen, at least not from this Duo Penalty guy. Who comes in? It's Mew. Of course, now I'm scared of a fake out, because now a fake out plus something might kill my Xerneas. Like a fake out plus Muddy Water, for example. This guy cannot redirect the Muddy Water. So that's where I have the Terra Ghost. It just works out very nicely here, so that I don't have to be scared of the fake out. I do the same play. I think, okay, if I Helping Hand Dazzling Gleam, sorry, still a bit sick, guys. Then what do I have to be scared of? I have nothing to be scared of. Even if he switches into something in the back, it'll just get chunked significantly. So I go for that play. Terra Ghost, he doesn't actually end up going for the fake out because the Helping Hand comes out. And Dazzling Gleam, I don't think he thought it would kill the Mew, but because of that Helping Hand boost, it does. He told me that he didn't expect this Mew to die, and he told me that this Mew was holding a Mirror Herb to counter my Xerneas, right? So yeah, that's some really scary stuff. The Mirror Herb couldn't come in because the Xerneas geomancied with the Gothorita. Just goes to show the crazy amount of disruption that this 5-point Pokemon had on this game, and how with something that seems like a bit of a gimmick, it didn't have to go exactly this way for it to be beneficial. Maybe it had to go exactly this way for me to win the game. It was it's a hard matchup though, so that's why I'm happy it went this way. It didn't go for fake out because he wanted to, I don't know, do something else, maybe just kill it straight up or something. He just didn't think I would kill it. They both die, and now the last two Pokemon come out. Here I make a big blunder. They both get chunked by Stealth Rock. This is exactly the whole situation that I set up, right? Dazzling Gleam will kill this guy now because he doesn't have Sturdy, and deal a big chunk to this guy, a big chunk of his remaining HP, which is only 51% after Stealth Rocks. It's insane. If it does 4 times damage, it does 50% of the HP if you're 4 times weak to rock. Now, I think there's 2 options. I had that Electivire with the electric attack, Wild Charge. So I'm thinking, okay, I got neither Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast. Dazzling Gleam doesn't need a Helping Hand to kill Sock. It won't kill Ho-Oh anyway. So I'm thinking, just gonna Dazzling Gleam, and I'm just gonna click Follow Me. What are the odds that Ho-Oh has a spread move? It's the main spread move for fire is like Heat Wave. It's a physical attacker. But I don't realize in that moment that it learns the move Earthquake, which is something that I should have seen coming. Much safer play, which is another play I was considering, was to simply click Protect with Xerneas, assuming that he would attack with Ho-Oh, and assuming and making the guess that it's quite likely that he clicks Protect on one of these as well. Maybe on the Sock to protect it from the Xerneas that is just simply faster. If I Protect now, next turn we both won't have Protect, and I will simply outspeed it. This was a much safer play. Click Protect and just attack the Ho-Oh. The Electivire's redirection was fun, but if it dies here, it's kind of okay. I have Incineroar in the back to create a lot of space. And then Great Tusk, if needed. So I make the mistake of doing the Follow Me play. It is Protect, Follow Me, Dazzling Gleam, does a measly 17%. And out comes the Earthquake. I did not see that coming. Electivire goes down. Xerneas goes down. Really bad. I'm sweating because speed control is not in my advantage here. I have 2 mons in the back, and I'm just not sure what items these guys are holding. That's what I'm most afraid of. If he does have a Covert Cloak, that could be end of my life immediately. If the Incineroar goes for a wrong fake out at the end. If he has what's it called? Clear Amulet, that could be a big problem too, because I'm gonna rely on it Intimidate so that my Great Tusk survives the moves from these Pokemon. So I'm sweating really hard. And I'm thinking that the best chance I have at this point, really messed up, is to get the greatest skin, which has protect, and because I think I needed to be able to act at the same turn that Incineroar presses fake out, and I'm just gonna have to pray. If I can get the greatest to act on the same turn as I use Incineroar fake out, then I'm happy. And if he somehow doesn't kill the electric fire on the turn that Great protects next to it, it's killing the Ho-Oh, and then I just win. So Great comes out. I'm gonna do exactly what I said. Protect on this guy and just attack the Great Tusk with the Electivire. There is a world in which he double attacks into the Great Tusk because he knows it can kill one of these. He doesn't do that. I protect, and he poison jabs the Electivire, maybe thinking that I might go for a follow me or something, and he just wanted to Brave Bird into here. But no, he actually Sacred Fires into there. I think hoping to get a burn. But I don't know why he wouldn't Brave Bird. I guess he would put at like 1%, and then Incineroar could fake him out, but then Sock just kills Incineroar. So, not sure. Maybe he doesn't run it. Either way, now I'm in the position that I was hoping for, but still scary. I don't know if he's running Covert Cloak on one of these, except I kind of do, because I realized I was thinking long about this turn, and I realized, wait a second, I only did 14% or something with the Dazzling Gleam, 17% to the Ho-Oh. I run that through the calcs, and I realize it has to be Assault Vest. It's the only way. So once again, calculator, freaking awesome. It needs to have Assault Vest, which means that I'm guaranteed to get a fake out off on it. It doesn't have Protect because it has Assault Vest. So fake out and attacking into it will work, or at least attacking into it will work. Now, in comes Incineroar, right? Incineroar causes Intimidate drop on both. Intimidate drop on both is awesome. But still, right? So no Clear Amulet, so that could still be like the Covert Cloak. This is why items and the closed team sheet are so crazy, because you have to account for so many things. But you really want to, if you want to get better at it, you have to account for those things. Or you have to at least think about it and make a calculated play based on those options and how likely you think that they are. So I am thinking the following. Great Tusk has 2 good offensive moves that can kill both of them. Actually, it's Close Combat. Close Combat can kill both of them. But Close Combat drops my defense and special defense. Right now, Cantable can't kill Great Tusk with 1 hit. Not even with the Brave Bird. Because of the Intimidate drop. But after Close Combat, it can. Incineroar cannot kill this guy in 1 hit. It can probably kill Ho-Oh in 1 hit with Flare Blitz. So it becomes a bit of a puzzle. If I fake out and attack into... Oh, shoot. If I fake out and attack into this Ho-Oh, but this guy is faster than both of my mons, then... and it kills Incineroar on this turn, and on the next turn kills the Great Tusk after the defense drop, I lose, right? If I fake out and attack into this. Now he could protect on Sock as well. If he does, then that is a good move. Right? Then that's a good play. I'm not sure what Ho-Oh speed is, but I'm starting to think about it, and I'm thinking, hey, he probably is quite tanky, because even with Assault Vest, he took so little damage. He's probably fully HP invested, and he's significantly attack invested. Because why wouldn't you be? It does so much damage to the Electivire. I could have calculated it. I actually didn't. But I thought it was a fair assumption to think that my Great Tusk, which has a speed of 134, is probably faster than 156, because it would need a positive nature or just fully 252 EV points to be faster. I thought that wasn't likely. So Great is probably faster than Cantable, which means that it will act before it, so I can just fake out the Sock and attack this guy. The only thing that would punish this is if I'm wrong. And if this guy has Covert Cloak. If this guy has Covert Cloak, and attacks into here, and this guy gets an attack off into here before dying, I'm wrong. But I think I just have to risk it because it seems like the best statistical option in this case. Faking out the sock and attacking into the bird. If I am in that situation, the next turn I can simply, after the fake out, I know that my flare blitz will kill. I'll double attack into sock and it's over. So we go for that, fake out into sock. He flinches. I breathe a sigh of relief. Close combat goes before cancel. I breathe another sigh of relief. Relief is dead, and the game is over. He protects. I double attack into it. I don't change anything on the next turn. I don't think there's anything he can really do about it. I don't know if he even had close combat, because Incineroar didn't die. And maybe it was way less close than it felt to me. But in any case, I have to account for always the worst case scenario. That's how I think that you should try to look at your games and try to base your plays around. What are the worst case scenarios for you, and build in some contingencies into your game plan. I'm excited for the rest of the tournament. I hope you guys enjoyed this little analysis, turn-by-turn analysis of my game against Kuhn. Maybe you can pick up a thing or two from one of the goats of this tournament, right? I think maybe especially Aryaman can learn some things from just looking at the way I think about the game, looking at the gameplay. I so that it will be like a bit more of a fair battle when I get my match against him in the bracket. Speaking of the bracket, I think it's going to be really exciting. I don't know exactly yet who's going to be in there, but it's looking like the brackets, at least the bottom and top, are for the most part set. It's like about a few. It's going to be about like a few people, between a few people. So good luck if you still have your matches, and otherwise good luck during the elimination bracket. Thank you guys. That was Spooky. Signing off. See you next time.